By the way, I wanted to ask you about this photograph that you posted. This is on Instagram. This is you. How old are you in this picture?
I'm 27, and right there, probably. I'm 6 years old.
6 years old with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
With the People's Champ. We were over in New Zealand, and he was promoting a fight over there, and my dad, I believe, had met him and sparred with him a couple of times, sparred with George Foreman, and then so my mom took me over to the hotel that he was promoting at, and I met him then, pulled me up on his lap, took a couple of pictures with me.
Wow.
And yeah, and since then, I mean, he's been one of my heroes.
Why were you in New Zealand?
We were in New Zealand because at that time wrestling wasn't as global as it is today, so we did a lot of traveling, and my dad wrestled in a lot of different places. So we would travel. We had like a gypsy lifestyle. So living in New Zealand, and I was an only child, so it was kind of a shock because when we went to New Zealand, we got a lot of the Samoan side of my family. A lot of them live in New Zealand. So I went from just living alone, being an only kid, to living with massive, like a big family.
Oh, really?
Big family.
Not just big, but also big people, right?
But big people,
Yeah.
right. So my aunties were probably, you know, there were a few who were like 250, 3 bills. I mean,
Really?
They were tipping the scales. Yeah, so by the way, so like every Sunday we would have big dinners. It's like in our culture, it's a big thing, all get together. And when a little bit of alcohol gets involved, then there's always inevitably a lot of fights. And not between the guys and the guys, like between the men and the women.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and when you're tipping the scales at about 3 bills, I mean, those are tough
I
women.
see.
Yeah. Yes, tough women. Tough
Really?
women.
Wow.
I saw an awesome fight one time. My uncle was popping off. He was drunk, and my auntie was like, okay. She took her shoe off in one of those big clog wooden shoes, and she hit him right in the face. Right in the face.
What?
It was awesome, by the way, yes.
A little taste of Holland.
Yes, right in the mouth, yes.
Did you, in Hawaii, where you also grew up, did you have big family there as well?
We did. I had my family was there. At one time, we lived with my grandfather, who was a famous Samoan wrestler, Haichi Peter Maivia. We lived with him. Thank you so much. Thank you. We lived with him and my grandmother, and they used to fight too. They were notorious for fighting. My grandmother was a very tough woman, and my grandfather was a very tough guy. So they used to fight. And one time I remember, I was 8 years old, and there was a big crash in the bedroom, and they came out. Oh, I'm sorry, my grandmother came out after a big crash, yelling. You know when people are fighting. She came out, and keep in mind, my grandmother's a very tough woman. And yes, so she came out, and my mom came out. She's like, "What's going on?" My mom starts tearing up a little bit. My grandmother she grabs the biggest knife in the kitchen. It's like this, and she's like, "It's okay. Just take Dwayne. You guys go to a motel for the night. It's all okay." And I'm 8 years old.
Oh, no.
It's awesome.
Wow. Well, maybe it's best that you're an only child.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy, by the way.
How many wrestlers are in your family?
I have a long line of wrestlers. We're all related. My grandfather, Haichi Peter Maivia, the Wild Samoans, my dad, Rocky Johnson, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh, wow.
The list goes on. My uncle, King Tonga. I mean, there was just...
King Tonga was your uncle?
Remember him?
Yeah, I do remember him, yeah.
And arguably one of the toughest men.
You mean in real life?
In real life in pro wrestling. And the
Could
way
he
was
beat up
trained,
his wife if they got in a fight? Or?
She would kick his ass.
Did you call him Uncle King Tonga?
I had respectfully, right? So there's this crazy story. So he was out and he was eating after a big match. At one time, he was wrestling Hulk Hogan. I think this was in Buffalo. And after a match, someone from Buffalo. And then, so after a match, some of these fans started getting a little unruly when he was eating dinner. And he was not only one of the toughest men in the world, but also one of the most kind, gentle guys. And this is a heartwarming story. So he's eating, and a fan was drunk and unruly, and you're not that tough. And my uncle was like, "Oh, no, it's okay. Just leave me alone, please. You're not that tough." Finally, the guy pushed my uncle. My uncle gets up. He grabs him by the head, and he bites his nose off. Okay?
Is this the kind and gentle part?
That's not the kind of that's the I'm an animal. I told you not to mess with me. He bites his nose off, boom, spits it on the ground. The guy goes crazy. His wife starts freaking out. They call the cops. The cops come back to find my Uncle Tonga still sitting, eating. And they were like, you know, and he's very menacing look. He's massive, and he's just sitting there eating. And, sir, are you Tonga Fafita? And, yes, I am. Did you get in an altercation? Yes, I did, yes. And this is, I believe his nose, I think he's at the hospital. Oh, yes, his nose, it's right over there.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't deep fry it and eat it in Buffalo. I am Jimmy Kimmel. If you like that, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all our latest videos before they die and go to YouTube heaven.